Hi guys, and welcome to another video here on Watch channel. Yeah, as you probably can see by the first picture here in this video, it's about Omega, the watch brand Omega. And I thought that the other day I did a video about my vintage Rolex GMT-Master from 1991. So I would like to do another video, not about a real vintage piece, but a piece of my watch collection that I really appreciate, and actually was my first Grail watch. This was my first Grail watch, and my second Grail watch, my new Grail watch, if you can say it like that, was the GMT-Master. So I really wanted to just to have a closer look at this watch. It's just a really well-known, very actually famous watch. And why it's famous? Of course, it's famous because of this guy, James Bond. This is from Watch Time magazine, and of course we're talking about the Omega Seamaster Professional 300. And in 1995, Pierce Brosnan, for the first time, had this watch on in the movie GoldenEye, and this was the 2541.80, which was the Omega Seamaster Quartz. And in later movies, in 1997, 1999, and 2002, in as you can see here, Tomorrow Never Dies, and The World Is Not Enough, as well as Die Another Day. He's also wearing the Omega Seamaster, but this time it's the reference number 2531.80, which is the automatic version. So this watch is a very, very famous James Bond watch, and to this day, of course, James Bond is still wearing Omega Seamaster, but in newer versions. But this is how I of course bought this used, pre-owned, because which I will get into just in a short while. This is discontinued and has been discontinued for quite a lot of years, and this is also why I wanted to make this video, to talk a little about if this is going to be more of a, not a popular classic, but maybe also a more sought after classic in maybe 5 or 10 years, and maybe it will rise in price. This is how I got it, the outer box. Really cool, and very, very big manual in a lot of languages. This watch came with 24 months, 2 years warranty back in when it was originally bought. My particular watch, let's just get rid of this. My particular watch was produced in the year 2000, so it's 16 years ago, and the classic red Rolex, Omega watches box, and of course here the watches. This is of course the classic which a lot of you watch guys know, and let's take it off the watch cushion. Here we have it. So a very, very famous watch design. Not only iconic because it was in the James Bond movie, but also because it's kind of a unique design, a very unique and also very clever, intelligent design. And maybe the two most famous parts of the design of this Omega Seamaster is this quite dark blue bezel insert, as you can see it here. Very, very famous for its design. Also the way that the bezel is designed, as you can see, which is actually designed to be able to grab it easier and turn the bezel. And after 16 years, this bezel still turns, but it could need some. At some point I will take this watch to an Omega dealer and get a nice thorough service of this watch to keep it running, but It's 16 years and still going strong. And the other famous part of this watch design is what you can, if you take a look at the, if you can, you should be able to sense it now, the dial. The waves in the dial are very famous and one of the most unique and beautiful dials to have when you look at the reflection of the sunlight. And here it's artificial light, but when you look at the reflection of the sunlight, you get these waves. Absolutely beautiful, and it looks absolutely stunning during a day on the beach and just out of the sunshine. Also, the watch is renowned for this type of hands, for its great loom, for the helium release escape valve here, and the very famous design of the steel bracelet, which is one of the most comfortable and still quite heavy steel bracelets I have ever experienced. The only thing I have experienced that is better than this is the Oyster bracelet, which comes on Rolex watches. But this is an extremely well-functioning and well-designed steel bracelet. And one of the great parts of this watch is, of course, the clasp. It works just absolutely perfect, and it's beautiful. So here you have the Omega Seamaster Professional engraving, and it works just perfect with these push buttons, and you just open. Also, you're able to adjust to when you have to adjust it when you're a professional diver. You can fit the watch on your wetsuit, your diving suit, by extending it. So a very well thought steel bracelet and clasp. The watch is quite heavy, so if you're into heavy watches, this is definitely a watch to look into if you don't already know it. So let's have some details about the watch, some measurements, and then I will get into why I think you should consider looking into this watch if you're a collector and you don't already own this watch. If just to have the measurements, it's a chronometer. It has a date. It has as I showed you, a helium escape valve and a screw-in crown, which works quite nicely with the Omega logo here. And it's hackable, so you can stop the seconds. The technical data is that it's a domed, anti-reflective, scratch-resistant sapphire crystal. Of course, it's made in steel. The dial is blue. The bezel insert is blue. It's water-resistant down to 30 bar, 300 meters, or in American numbers, 1,000 feet. And when we look at the case size, it's 41 millimeters, so it's a quite nice in between more modern, bigger watches and the older, smaller watches, like the older models of Rolex, which were only around 40 millimeters. So it's a nice, good size. And if we look at the movement, this movement has a power reserve of 44 hours. This watch, after 16 years, doesn't have a power reserve of 44 hours, but I would say 35 hours or something. I really haven't tested it, but it's still up and running, and it's, of course, you're able to manually wind the watch, and it's still an amazing movement. And of course, when we take a closer look into this movement, it's the Omega Seamaster caliber 1120. And what is really behind this number is an ETA movement called 2892.2. It's been modified by Omega for this Omega Seamaster, but still it's not an in-house movement. It's an ETA movement. But just think about, this watch is 16 years old and it's still running perfectly. and very precisely, and it's an ETA movement. So don't put down ETA movements. Just because it's not in-house, it's still a great movement, and Omega did a really nice job with this movement and this watch as a whole. Just to have a short look at the case back. Got this engraving. So, and yeah, just another detail. You can see that the hour markers and the loom on the hands, as well as the pearl here or the dot here, they are fading, and it looks really great. But still, the loom is absolutely amazing. And just to show you how amazing the loom is, I just took a picture the other day for my Instagram profile. And remember to look in the description for this video and find my Instagram profile, because I post a lot of my watches and great stuff on my Instagram profile, and would love you to follow me on Instagram. So here, this is just for regular evening. It was not at night, and I had just been wearing the watch close to some artificial light, and this is how it really lights up. It's just an amazing loom. I really like the kind of radioactive, kind of light green loom that this watch has. So when I look at the prices for this watch, of course you cannot get it new. You can maybe get it NOS, which means new on stock. Maybe some shop has this lying around as a never worn and never sold watch, but you will probably never be able to find a completely new copy of this watch. But when you look at eBay and different watch sites, Chrono24, this watch goes from around $1,800 up to $2,800 for the same model. Of course, there's some differences in when the watch was produced and what if you get paper and box and all of that stuff. But what is really important with this watch is that you get a watch with not too much wear on the bracelet. It mustn't be really worn out. Also look at the bezel insert. As you can see, I have a little scratch on my bezel insert, but nothing too bad. The point being, you can find this watch at quite reasonable prices, but if you're into looking for this watch, maybe as a collector's item, because it can get up in value in 5 or 10 years, I really recommend you find a really nice copy, and they're quite hard to find. Especially, you will see a lot of copies of this watch, a lot of watches, Omega Seamaster 300 watches with a really banged up, scratched bezel insert. And the problem is you will have a really hard time finding a new original bezel insert. So this is a very important point if you're looking for this watch. So why do I think that this watch could maybe? I'm not saying that it will, and I'm not saying that a quite popular and very famous watch like this in the mid-range price class will skyrocket in price. But I would like you to consider the fact that this watch has been out of production since 2006. So it's already been out of production for 10 years. And with the iconic status that this watch has, and when you look around at how hard it is to find a copy of this watch in a really good shape, where the bracelet is not really worn out, or the bezel insert is not really scratched up and banged up, as well as the case, it will be harder and harder to find a really nice copy of this watch. So if you're looking into this watch, maybe you can actually make a good investment. At least you will make an investment in a nice Swiss-made iconic dive watch that go really well with just a polo shirt or a t-shirt, or even a shirt for more formal occasions, and you will probably get a watch that won't decrease in value, but would probably increase in value. When you look at eBay and other watch places where watches and watch parts are sold and traded, actually the bracelet and the bezel insert are really actually going for quite high prices. So spare parts for this watch. Watches that are not functioning anymore, but people are removing the steel bracelet to sell it as spare part. They're really going for quite a lot of dollars. So a fully functioning, well kept, well preserved, beautiful copy of this watch could actually, in 5 or 10 years, be a sought after watch. And then you will have a very unique watch that will probably be worth some more money. So my original first off Grail watch, and I'm still extremely happy with this watch. I think it looks great and it feels great, and it feels heavy on the wrist. It feels like an old school dive watch. It feels really heavy. That's a great part with this watch. It doesn't feel really light like many newer automatic dive watches. This feels extremely heavy, and it's not heavy just to make a big watch with a size of 45 millimeters or something. It's heavy because it's just old school quality materials, and you should just feel the bracelet. It's amazing. I see people removing the bracelet and put it on a leather strap or an acer strap, and it looks really great. But I'm keeping it original because it's the complete look of this watch is just amazing. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this this video with me showing my Omega Seamaster 325 31.80 well preserved James Bond dive watch. And feel free to write me on my email, please comment, and please remember to subscribe. It's really important that I get some subscribers for this channel, so you're able to get announcements when I release new video material. Well, nothing left to say than my name is not Bond, it's not James Bond, and my number is not 007, but still, thank you so much for watching this video, and see you next time. Remember to subscribe. Thank you.